Okay. So, like, apparently, there was this comedian named Ariel Elias who pissed off a couple of maggots at a comedy show. And Jimmy Kimmel actually invited her on, jump-started this girl's career by inviting her to do a bit on his show. After this happened at one of the comedy shows she was doing.
Did you vote for Donald Trump? Did I vote for Donald Trump? What do you think? No. I can just tell by your jokes you voted for Biden. All right. I can tell by the fact that you're still talking when nobody wants you to that you voted for Trump. So I'll say the rest of that bit, and then we'll move on. I'm so insecure. I went and got an ID. Oh!
Yo, I'm never coming to people ever again.
Oh my God. So, like, she was doing a stand-up bit at a comedy club. I'm not sure if it was in New York. I think it was. And this bitch in the audience, did you vote for Biden? Why? I could tell by your jokes that you voted for Biden. And she says, well, I can tell by the fact you won't shut the fuck up that you voted for Trump. And either her or the douchebag she was with, that was legit a fucking beer bottle that they threw at her head that smashed against the wall like an inch from her face. So she picks up the bottle or the can or whatever, I don't know if it was something she was drinking or not, and just drinks from it. You know, I think she was way too contained. I would have said, you see, folks, you know, you don't even have to get it from the horse's mouth, you know, right there. I mean, is it not obvious they're Trump voters? You know, the guy is actually sitting there, I'm never coming here again. Who gives a fuck? You know, this is like the perfect encapsulation of what these maggots are about. It's all about them. They legit almost injured this woman during her own show because they got offended at her jokes and decided to throw a bottle at her head in front of other people, and then had the audacity to claim, I'm never coming back here again. No, bitch, you're not allowed back there again. I'm surprised somebody didn't grab this asshole and forcibly throw him out. I hope at least that these club owners aren't fearing some kind of a lawsuit. You know, and I'm sure they're permanently banned from the club. I mean, what the hell are maggots doing in a comedy club anyway? What the hell are they doing there? They can't take any jokes. Everything, everywhere they go, is about their little cult. It's about their personal political beliefs. And they outright, in front of anybody who's present, they don't give a shit, are going to attempt to seriously injure somebody. Somebody whose show it is. You are a guest there. It's the stupidity knows no bounds. It really doesn't. I can't believe this. And let's see what happened. It's all over the place. Ted Cruz at Yankee Stadium. Oh, that's Brian Taylor Cohen. Let's check out this one, see if we got a good bid. Oh no, this ain't the good one. This ain't the good one. I want to see. I think it was, yeah, right here. It was on Kimmel.
Remember that? Remember when Trump called your wife ugly and then you?
Oh my God. So, like, shit. So he goes into Yankee Stadium. So he goes into Yankee Stadium, and people start heckling the shit out of him. That one guy keeps saying, remember when Trump called your wife ugly and you didn't do shit? Get the fuck out of my state. Get out of New York. And Kimmel even brought this up about how he is just doing the most masterful job at completely ignoring the majority of people and focusing on that one guy in the crowd that's actually waving at him like he's the biggest celebrity in the world. And, you know, that's another thing about MAGATS. That's another thing about these politicians, these right-wingers. You know, I'm sure a lot of you have dealt with really shitty people in your life. And I can tell you from experience, some of the very worst people I have ever encountered, some of the worst excuses for human beings I have ever known, they are so fucking low. They are such pieces of shit. They have to design everything about them. They have to be on in a way where their every interaction, their every action is designed to, how do I put this? It's like they go out with this shield around them because they're expecting shit from people. They're expecting derision. They're expecting hate. They're expecting people are going to be angry at them or seek retribution against them for being a piece of shit. So they have to kind of steel themselves. They have to design their every word and action and interaction with others in a way that trains themselves to turn off all of the hate and focus only on that one person that might be there that gives them just an ounce of positive attention. And you can see this with Ted Cruz's reaction. He's in Yankee Stadium. He's got a mountain of people surrounding him, all talking shit, and it's completely legitimate. Being a pussy when it comes to the things Trump has said about his wife, and then kissing his ass anyway. The taking off and going to Cancun while his state was suffering a power crisis, an emergency, and all of the rest of the horrible things Ted Cruz is known for. And the guy knows he's a piece of shit. The guy knows that he's a fucking slime ball, okay? And he knows when he goes out, people are going to clap back. People are going to call him out. People are going to be angry. You know, for all intents and purposes, he should have a fucking beer bottle thrown and smashed on his head. You know, that's the, you know, forget this innocent, light-hearted comedian trying to eke out a living doing what she loves. You know, this is somebody from that maggot camp, okay, who knows there is legitimate reason for people to despise him. He is prepared for it. He expects it. So he goes out and he stands there like a goddamn robot just waving like he's in a window display at some tech company, like he is incapable of hearing all of this shit around him, and it doesn't come out of nowhere. These aren't just haters, okay? People that don't know you, don't know anything you're about, are completely fucked in the head, are hating because of their own problems. No, that's the shit people like him did to Ariel Elias at her stand-up show. Okay? That is completely ridiculous, uncalled for, childish hate. All right? This against Ted Cruz, and nobody did throw a bottle at his ugly head. This is legitimate anger. He is a representative. He is actually beholden to the public. Of course, he's not, you know, from New York, or he doesn't have a position in New York. It doesn't mean people don't know exactly what he's doing to their fellow Americans. That's why they're angry. And good for them for getting pissed, for bringing it up. He's a representative, you know. He is actually beholden to anybody that I would think has a grievance, and they're just chastising him, and, you know, none of them threw a bottle at his head. He's surrounded by his bodyguards or whoever is there to protect him, and there he is like a robot waving to nobody. Nobody. Everybody is getting on him. He should have simply stood up and walked out quietly, but no, he's Ted Cruz. He's a really important guy. He thinks he's some great representative of the people. So he's going to wave to all these people that didn't vote for him, people that don't give a shit about him. If Ted Cruz ran in New York, he'd be eaten alive. Us New Yorkers would never tolerate that shit. And that's how nice we are. We feel bad for other people. And I don't even know if Jimmy Kimmel knows, but he says there's like one guy that he's looking at, waving and smiling at. It's not good enough. Nobody wants you there. You're a piece of shit, and he knows he's a piece of shit. In a way, that's like it's a spiteful tactic he's using. And like I said, I've known some real pieces of shit. You might have seen this online more than once. You got this really horrible fail troll that just ruins the good time of everyone on your favorite site. And nobody likes them at all. They all do nothing but tell him to get the fuck out. Nobody cares. Everybody joins together. They decide to, en masse, ignore this guy. Nobody's going to talk to him. Nobody's going to acknowledge him. But there's always that one dick, that one dude who doesn't want to play along. He does not want to cooperate with everyone else. Either he wants to be different or he wants to think that he's better than everyone, and I'm just not going to get involved. So everybody is trying to send a message. They don't want this guy there, okay? And they're doing it in the most mature way they can think of, which is to shun this person. Nobody talk to him. Nobody acknowledge him. Nobody click on anything that he posts or he says or whatever. And then there's that one dick that doesn't want to listen and talks with him. And what does the troll do? What does the piece of shit do? He acts like that one guy, that one dick, is his best friend. He talks with this dick all day long while everybody else is ignoring him. Never spoke to the dick before, never cared about anything the dick had to say. He knows what's going on. He knows he's a piece of shit. He comes on every day worse and worse because he expects retaliation. He expects the hate. Okay, and he can't handle it. So when something big like that happens and everyone just shuns him one day, the one idiot, the one dick who doesn't want to play along and continues to acknowledge him and continues to talk to him, well, even though the troll has never spoken to the dick before, he's of use to him. He can use him to ignore everybody else's rightful anger towards him. So he acts like the dick is his best friend. And then the day after, when the whole thing falls apart and everything more or less goes back to normal, he's back to being a piece of shit to everybody. He'll be a piece of shit to that dick that he acted like he was his best friend the day before. He's just a horrible piece of shit person. People are only good to him insofar as how useful they are to him. Pieces of shit like Ted Cruz are like these guys, like these trolls. They know they're hated. They know they're awful human beings. They know they're despised. So they have to seriously, work hard. They have to do some serious mental gymnastics to try to pretend that the rightful anger directed at them is just not happening. They're going to pick out that one guy in the audience that they don't give a shit about and wave to them and focus all their attention on them and act like they're their best friend. This is who I came out to the stadium for. No, that guy, if he did exist, probably waved once to be polite and sat back down. I'll bet that guy off in the distance wasn't even looking at him. But he's got to pretend. That's what pieces of shit do. And that's what Ted Cruz did. It's so weird. I hope this blue wave coming in November hits really fucking hard. Okay, right here, it's a perfect example of the cultish behavior one side exudes. They don't like somebody, some innocent woman doing a comedy show. She is physically in danger. Okay, physically in danger. Ted Cruz goes to a stadium and people fucking just rail on him because of things that are true. I can't wait. It's going to be all over Fox News for like the next 3 days, maybe a week. You know? How horrible the left are. They're just leftists. I can see it now. You know? Yeah. Why do people like Ariel Elias get a fucking bottle to the head almost, but people like Ted Cruz get to go to Cancun? Why is that? Why is it? Why is it? I don't get it. And also, this bitch on Twitter, I had to join into this conversation. Where did it go? Oh, that's cute. I totally what was it? Joe from Jers? Joe from Jers did this tweet. It was somewhere up here. It was up on my page, but I had to answer it. There we go. It's on Reddit. Joe from Jers says, PSA, if you find yourself sitting in a parking lot armed, masked, and dressed in tactical gear like some GI jack-off incel because you want to monitor ballot drop boxes, congratulations, you're an idiot, an asshole, and you're in a fucking cult. So this bitch, Arkansas Mama, says, why are you so afraid of legitimate elections? Legitimate elections. Emma replies, this is the opposite of legitimate elections. So Arkansas Mama, she's so fucking sassy, right-winger, monitoring drop boxes to ensure no foul play is the epitome of legitimate. Again, why are y'all so afraid of that? I mean, holy shit. Yes. I had to say, you're a damn tool. People off the street, civilians, have no place monitoring election boxes. How many elections have you voted in where some dunce with tactical gear stares you down as you fill out your fucking ballot? Try none, and you'd be terrified if it did. Legitimate elections. These people wouldn't know legitimate elections if someone they didn't like actually won one of them. And that's what this is all about. It's the typical right-wing Fox News propaganda bullshit. It's so fucking amazing how fucking stupid people are in this country. When you go to exercise your right to vote and you're checking in with the little old lady who is supposed to be there as a ballot polling location worker to check for your name and give you your sheet. Sometimes it's the sheet with the bubbles. Sometimes you go into the curtain booth. Sometimes it's some electronic shit that you fill out and you have to put into a machine. What do you think about the legitimacy of some fucking pissant with a Make America Great Again hat, decked out in tactical gear, and carrying an automatic rifle and a couple of dud grenades on his belt loops, with his fat-ass gut hanging out over his belt buckle and the crack of his hairy ass sticking out of the back of his pants, standing there because he's decided that elections need to be legitimate only if patriots like him come into a public local polling place and stand there staring you down while you try to vote. Possibly looking over your shoulder, maybe pointing his gun at you. Who knows what the fuck these people are doing? That's already been reported at certain polling places. The intimidation tactics, that's what it is, because their Lord Fuhrer and Fox News tells them that the last election was stolen. And elections aren't legitimate if people who vote for people they didn't vote for actually win an election. That's what this is about. And that's what this dumbass, yes, I'm talking to you, sassy mom, so sassy, with that MAGA hat and that pink, what is it, camouflage T-shirt you probably wear with the really ugly, unflattering, what is it, like boot-cut yoga pants with your white sneakers and your Starbucks latte. It's a legitimate election if random people show up while you vote to stare you down while holding an automatic weapon. Hey, sassy mom, if I went to your polling place and decided to do that to you, would you think it's a fair election? Would you think that makes it a legitimate election? If a whole bunch of blue-haired, fat, freaking feminazis with unshaved armpits and thick black-rimmed glasses came into your polling place and decided to intimidate you, they don't want MAGATS to vote because you're too fucking stupid and it delegitimizes the election process. You know, that could just as easily happen. I'm sure this woman would spill her latte and she would Karen her ass all the way over to the local police station requesting that all the people that she doesn't like because they scare her are removed. See, people with blue hair scare people like Sassy Mom, but this bitch went on to actually make fun of people who have a concern or tried to call her out about maggots and tactical gear with automatic weapons showing up to polling places to intimidate voters.
Oh my God. And I had to get at her more than once. It's on Reddit. Right after that post where she was arguing with JoJo, she actually puts, just watching Dahmer so I can calm down and go to sleep. So I had to tell her. I had to do it. It doesn't surprise me that serial killers are what help a bitch like you get to sleep at night. Of course, I didn't put it that way. I'm nice like that. But I had to freaking put that down under her tweet that I saw right after that JoJo tweet thread. She actually put, this shows that woke, liberal, whatever the fuck she said, are terrified of guns and legitimate elections. And then she posts this, watching Dahmer so I can calm down and go to sleep. Of course Dahmer would calm you down. Of course it would. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't a show like Dahmer be just the thing to comfort your dumb ass as you try to find a way to get to sleep every night? I mean, some jokes just write themselves. Some jokes just write themselves. All right, anyway, I just wanted to rant a little bit. It's kind of like when you start college. You broaden your horizons, you take all these different courses, you begin to see how everything fits together from different directions. You know, I don't know if, well, I'm sure that's part of the point of getting a higher education, is learning all of these new things about the world. And you probably all noticed that, how facts from one subject fit in perfectly with the facts you learn from another subject. It's the same thing here. The pieces just fit perfectly. It's like the thing with the unbelievably entitled, selfish, ridiculous, childish, selfish, hostile, violent, immature behavior from two maggots at the Ariel Elias show. And then at the same time, you know, this shit with Ted Cruz. People legitimately angry, but not getting violent. And, you know, a piece of shit like Ted Cruz has to find a way to completely ignore it. And really, really do some mental gymnastics. Focus on that one person who may not even be looking at him. Just so he can pretend. You know, he can feed the fantasy. That he can be a piece of shit and just keep getting away with it and profit off of it. And then you've got idiot maggots like this at home. The only time they're calm is when bad things happen to good people. And they do more mental gymnastics to justify that. I mean, you can see how it fits together. All of the horrible things about these horrible people. It doesn't matter if it's some ugly bitch off of Twitter from Arkansas or if it's a politician. You know, it's just what it is. It's one of those things it's like so obvious. You could only be a complete piece of shit to support it. And choose to block out of your mind, you know, just logic, common sense, decency, I don't know. It just, and it gets worse every day. Well, I just needed to rant here. I will probably be probably be back for some Clock Tower Return of Scissorman in a bit. Just wanted to catch up here.